And that's the embarrassing aspect of it. Because I know personally that in everything we deal with law. And then, as we said, the dialogue, or we just debate and then come out with substantive issues concerning all these things, and then at the end of the day, they draw a conclusion. So then you also ask, why then did Abambagwen also left his seat just to make way for the first deputy speaker to also come? So the minority was having an agenda, and the majority was also thinking that then there's something wrong somewhere.
To the microphone parliament, because as a woman, the Ajuni Diagro, first in history,
what they are doing at the parliament is uncalled for. I used to have so much respect for parliamentarians, but not anymore. It's very disgusting.
But as I said, who say easy, I grew up in a deal. Parliament, I mean, who be that since my mama will be baby. I see, yeah, to a baby, I'm to the same thing, no, yeah, and now share the Papa 40 parliament here. When you know the boy mine.
This was rather unfortunate. We thought Parliament is supposed to be a place where the citizens will sit down and watch with admiration. So what we see, what we saw yesterday was very unfortunate. I'm expecting the two parties or the two caucus to sit down together and judge and come out with the best policy that will help the nation. That's all. That is all that we are expecting.
Do they want to kill us? My fridge is spoiled as a result of doom so. And now E-Levy. I have lost respect for parliamentarians.
Yeah, so if they want to vote and they know they will fight, they should go to Bukuma Arena and stop destroying our properties. Because what they are doing is very, very poor. There is no sense in it. Why should a whole MP fighting over E-Levy? You are the lawmaker and you are fighting. What do you expect me, the citizen, to do? You expect me to obey the rules and regulations in the country? No, I'm going to act more than what you are doing in the parliament. So they should advise themselves. It's very, very bad.
All right, so there you had some views from residents and some Ghanaians who are not too happy and not impressed at all with what happened in Parliament, that brawl on Monday night. Joining me in the studio now is Vincent Ekoa-Silva, who's MP for Old Tafo. And then shortly would also be joined by Roxy Nelson Dafiamakpo, who's the MP for South Dai, for us to look at have another look at the events that happened on Monday night. And I want to believe that upon sober reflection, they probably would have thought through and realized that indeed this shouldn't have happened. Good morning to you, Vincent. So I saw you right there in the thick of things when with all the chaos that was happening in Parliament. And I've also seen some articles in which you are indicating that there was an MP who was cut with a razor blade. Is that really the case?
Right. Let me say a very good morning to your cherished viewers and, of course, the good people of Old Tafo constituency, all the polling station executives. I greet you this morning. Let me be very brief about this. In fact, on that fateful day, from the side of the majority, I was the first person to have gone to the speaker's podium.
Why would you go to why would you move to the speaker's podium?
Because I have seen a certain kind of trend, a trend of unruly behavior on the part of the NDC, that is the minority, since January 6th and 7th of 2001. And the strategy has always been that when they disagree with anything by the Speaker of Parliament or the clerk who is supposed to be superintending over proceedings and be acting as the Speaker of Parliament, then the best strategy has always been that they move straight to where the Speaker is. And so myself and Habib, my leader, saw the moves of some of the NDC MPs moving straight to where the Speaker of Parliament was, that is his left hand. And so the discussion between myself and Habib was that we need to make sure that we deal with these actions that the minority intend to embark on. And the actions are that all the time they will move to the left-hand side of the Speaker of Parliament, one, to attempt to accost the Speaker of Parliament, better still, to pull the chair of the Speaker of Parliament. And that has always been the strategy of my brothers from the minority side. As to why they have adopted that strategy, it beats my imagination. I don't understand. And so for the first time, we decided that no, to be forewarned is to be forearmed. And so we saw that that was going to be the strategy of the minority, to either pull the chair of the Speaker of Parliament. So myself and Habib and Nino Te, the Tema Central,
you moved to the Speaker's podium.
As soon as we see that the marshals are not able to hold it up, then we'll go in to assist them by only protecting the seat of the Speaker of Parliament. Indeed, the moves from the minority clearly show that they were interested in the seat, because at the time, Joe Osewusu had indicated or had signaled that he wanted to leave the chair for the second Deputy Speaker of Parliament to come and sit in the chair. In fact, I am very new in Parliament. My brother Roxanne has been in Parliament for so long, but I am new. And at every point in time, sometimes, even when a member of Parliament is on his feet debating, the Right Honourable Speaker Alban Babin could excuse the House and say that the first Deputy Speaker of Parliament should take the chair, or the second Deputy Speaker of Parliament should take the chair. And the majority side, not even a single time have we resisted the Honourable Alban Babin from leaving his chair. Not even a single time. And so I have been very surprised that the minority attempted to stop the second Deputy Speaker from taking the seat when the first Deputy Speaker decided that he was now leaving.
So you say
I don't understand.
You say you
why.
moved to the podium, and the question I want to ask is, and by the way, we've been joined by Roxanne Nelson Lafayette, who's MP for South Dai, and good morning.
We'll have to check if he's not having any blows on his face.
We will be coming to you in a bit. So you moved to the podium, and the question I would want to ask is, was that the best course of action to take? Because you were, it's suggested at the point that you were going to take the law into your own hands.
Well, I am not a lawyer. He's a lawyer. There seemed to be a certain kind of immunity that members of Parliament enjoyed when you are in the chamber, when proceedings are ongoing. And I think that the case of Tufo versus Attorney General is very clear that whatever happens in Parliament is a closed book and what have you. And so you see the minority, especially some...
Answer the question.
Well, you hold on, I'll get there. I'll get there. You see some of the minority members moving to the left side of the Speaker, attempting to cause that mayhem. And so we decided that we will stop any attempt in obstructing
at what point was
proceedings.
That decision taken?
Come again?
At what point was that decision? You said we decided.
When we saw the signals, and the signals has been that, I have told you, that there has been a certain trend of behavior on the side of the minority. Anytime that they disagree with the Speaker, you will be seeing them moving one by one to converge on the left-hand side of the Speaker of Parliament. That as soon as the time is ripe for them, in their estimation, that the time is ripe for us to cause that mayhem or to obstruct proceedings, then they will trigger that process. And so we decided that this time round, we will protect the seat of the Speaker of Parliament.
So I asked, you said we decided.
Yes.
At what point did you take that decision? You and
myself
who? And Habib.
Habib and the Tema Central MP.
Okay. And the question
we were not
is,
going to fight.
In the question,
I told you.
In the question is, was that the best course of action? Because yes, you've had time to reflect over all of that. And looking at the chaos that ensued, was that the best course of action?
How many marshals do you have in Parliament? I've told you that the trend has been...
I'm asking if it's the best course of action.
All the time, I mean, they are overpowered by the minority. I don't know whether they have been... Do you guys join Bukum?
Because at the end of the day, we're seeing these images, which all of you have said that is indeed, they're indeed regretful, and it shouldn't have happened.
You see, I told you behind the scenes that whatever the Ghanaian people are saying
about the conduct of the MPs.
In Chiomokano, Udika, because our actions and inactions have proven that indeed we have acted dishonorable. All of us should bow our heads in shame. We have a responsibility, myself and my brother Roxton here, to redeem the image that Parliament has enjoyed. As an MP, before I got into the House of Parliament, the ambition and the motivation has always been seeing people like J.H. Mensah on his feet debating on the House of the...
you mentioned that there was one MP who was cut, and I'm asking, who's this MP who was cut, and who cut him?
Well, that is the Minister for Youth and Sports. I have told you that, and
you said he was cut. You saw him.
Absolutely. When you see the face of my brother Mustafa Yusuf, it just can't be a blow that gave him that cut. When a blow gives you a cut, you see it. But I am contending with the evidence that I saw on the face of my brother Mustafa Yusuf, that it can only be a sharp edge.
Which part of the face was cut?
For the sake of, I mean, some private. You see, you asked me about the pictures, if you have it and all that. We have decided that we will keep, because he's a minister of state.
But you could say if his face is cut, because eventually he's going to...
His face is cut.
He will show up
leader, Chief of Staff, Chief Whip, have all granted interviews that indeed his face was cut.
No, I'm saying he will show up eventually. I mean, we'll get to see him in public, and so we'll get to know which part is cut.
We have been advised that we should keep everything private about this, especially because he's a minister of state. We do not want to cause any kind of disaffection for his family and all that. And so as to where his face was cut and all those things, for me, is immaterial. What is material is that, yes, the fact has been established. And in fact, I have seen it, that his face was cut, one, and this was caused by my own very good friend, the Ayesuano MP, the Honorable Teddy. As I've said, I don't know whatever was in his hand for him to have engaged in that. But I can only conclude that it was a sharp edge that was used to cause that damage on the face of my brother, Mustafa Yusuf.
Let me come to you, Roxing. The events of Monday night, everybody has described as regretful. The question I would want to ask you is, why did the NDC MPs move towards the Speaker's seat?
Thank you very much. And good morning to my viewers, especially my constituents in Piki, Kpali, Kpevetongo. And Merry Christmas and Happy New Year in advance. I'll be joining them on Friday. And good morning to my brother like no other.
My senior colleague.
My Merry Christmas to you.
Yes.
I have some chocolates.
Oh, I see.
Oh.
So yeah, they're golden tree chocolates. So anybody who comes on the show gets a bit of it. Yeah.
I know when I get to my constituency,
I have different flavors, so.
Okay.
Yet,
bring this one.
Yet, Israel. Vincent normally will speak, but today he's liberating. He's liberating a lot to make his point. Because you can't blame the NDC for this. And
they moved.
Hold on. No. Why? You saw the video. You saw the video. Myself and Sam George had been detailed by my leaders.
Polling agents.
To be polling agents. They called us polling agents.
Yeah.
So we were taking the tally of the head count. So in terms of proximity, we could have moved there, and we were capable. In fact, there's a publication out there that I caused the physical harm to the Minister of State, which was a blatant falsehood.
But the guy actually looks like you. I think the way
you understand.
Yeah,
so now a look-alike now is Roxton. They got the facts wrong. So Sam George and I could have been, if indeed we intended to storm the stage, and as they are alluding to take over the seat of the speaker, we were in close proximity to have done that, even before other members approached them. But they decided, and let me go back into time. On the night of 6th January, this meeting, the meeting is in a year. Yeah. This meeting began with a fight. And it's ended with a fight. Or the year began with a fight, and it's ending with a fight. Very regrettable, but traceable to procedural impropriety on the part of the majority. If you recall events of 6th January to 7th, simple procedure. Let us vote. The standing order says secret ballot. They said they want to do open ballot. That when you vote, you must show your vote. They will say, no, we will not allow you to bastardize the procedure. They won't understand. It took so long for order to be restored. Soldiers had to storm, and people like me had to be.
We saw all that.
Yes,
but
no.
We're talking about what?
No. Let's trace the history properly.
Okay, so it happened on.
Hold on.
On 6th January.
I'm tracing the conduct of the majority who are criticizing us.
All right.
When we restore order and we voted, the majority decided to perpetrate fraud in the elections, to snatch a ballot, not simply snatching, but chewing it. Yeah. Because when you snatch, I can retrieve it from you. But when you chew it, it is gone. It is destroyed. So that is the majority that is complaining. And you think that the minority shouldn't resist such a conduct? Fast forward. You brought your most important policy to Parliament, which is the economic policy, reviewing performance for this year and next year. On the day of approval of the policy, you walked away. Which government does that? Then they came back to complain. I'm tracing conduct. On the day of the E-levy in question, what was the issue? After a very long battle after a long deliberative battle, a vote was taken. We contested the outcome. Procedurally pursuant to Order 114. A division has to be called. Yeah. Lobbies collect. Head count. Yeah. Then the speaker says, I'm serving notice that when the head count is being done, or when the head count is to be done, I will get up and go and have myself counted. Yeah. And we said, no, that is a procedural impropriety. Because when you are presiding pursuant to our standing orders, you do not have a vote. Because to call for a division is tantamount to an appeal, sort of, because there's been a vote. There's been a declaration of the outcome of those votes.
There's dispute.
There's dispute regarding the outcome. So I am asking for a review of that process. You did not participate in the voice vote. So you cannot now supplant yourself.
I think that's a fair point.
Good. So if the minority resisted this, how can we be faulted?
I'll respond. How is that fair?
Yes, how can we be faulted? And when you are doing a head count, once you come in and you get counted, you don't go out. But what they did was, they got the member for Formina, who is the second deputy speaker, to get counted. I ticked him. He went to sit down. And then, moments later, they asked him to go out. when a member is in the chamber and wants to go out, there's no rule that says that you can forbid that, because there are a lot of things that will make a member step out of the chamber. But then we saw that, true to the words of the presiding speaker, he was going to exchange his place with him. And that was when the minority resisted.
Okay, so then the question is,
yes,
why would they move to the speaker's podium?
Because you see, if you allow the exchange, then they are going to introduce fraud into the head count. Because then the speaker is going to be counted.
You see, with the same question I posed to Vincent Assefa,
let me
by moving to do this, you're taking the law into your own hands.
The video, the video will show. So I won't be saying anything apart from what the video, the pictorial evidence will evidence. They had gone there to secure the stage.
That's not true.
Hold on. The video, the video will speak to it. They had already staged themselves to secure because they knew they had a history that we had snatched the seat before. So in order to avert that, they had cordoned off the area from where the speaker, the second deputy speaker, will come in and do the exchange. And we were preventing the exchange from happening, because when it happens, they introduce fraud into the counting process. That was what caused the entire thing. If the speaker, and you see, because he had put us on notice.
You see, so I'd also ask you, with the benefit of hindsight, upon sober reflection, was that the best course of action?
It wasn't, but it was a necessary action. Hold on, to prevent the presiding speaker from being head counted. That is total an anathema. That is an affront to the standing orders. But they wanted to perpetrate it, and they did. They had done so many things which is an affront to the standing orders, and got away with it.
You see, after all of this, with the shame that you all acknowledge that this has brought to Parliament, the question is being asked. You definitely would have to find ways of working together.
We have always worked together, Israel. It's been a very long.
What do we?
May I make the point? It's been a long 12 months. It's been a long 12 months. So we've worked so far together very well. But where?
12 months.
Hold on.
Where we've had
Israel. Let me make that Israel. But where a party with an equal number, but acting with the mentality of a 169 majority, and we want to have its way all the time, I think the minority has a duty to resist by the use of any means necessary to make sure that the standing orders as provided, or the orders as provided in our standing orders, are complied with. All that we were doing was in compliance with the orders of Parliament.
Vincent, yesterday, one of the things that came up in our conversations on the brawl that happened in Parliament, we had Professor Lord Mensah indicate.
And let me make the point. You heard him say that they went there first to prevent us from taking the seat. You agree to that fact?
In fact, I was the first person to have.
Thank you.
So hold on.
No, he explained that he saw some minority members.
How could you be first
positioning themselves?
How does positioning amount to
he saw that they were positioning themselves?
The motive is, how will I be distracting or obstructing my own Speaker of Parliament, especially
because you are going to encourage an illegality from being carried out.
Let me explain this.
So
he just made.
But let's come. I just want to make this point. Yesterday we spoke to Professor Lord Mensah, and he was saying, and Dr. Draman of the Parliamentary Centre, and they were both making the point that it appears that the majority or the MPP is acting in Parliament as if they have significant numbers. But it is about time they got to appreciate that what we're dealing with is not the same Parliament we had.
They have to wake up and smell the coffee.
In the previous Parliament.
We have equal numbers.
You probably have to do things a lot differently and have a lot more compromises.
I will answer that. But I want to clear this aspect. He said, I have always said, I am not a lawyer. He is a lawyer. And there's a popular maxim that the express mention of anything in our statute books will mean the exclusion of all others that have not been mentioned.
Exclusion Eunice.
Absolutely. He's a lawyer. I am not, I don't know. So if you check our standing orders,
Yes.
okay, the standing order 102,
Yes.
109, 2 and 3 will solve this matter. 2 is very clear on the things that it said and intended to say. And the 3 will tell the things that it intended not to say. So the 2 says that Mr. Speaker shall have neither an original nor a casting vote. Emphasis mine. An original nor a casting vote. And if upon any question before the House, the votes are equally divided, the motion shall be lost. So what is of primordial importance to me is that the Speaker shall have neither an original nor a casting vote. When you come to the 3, the 3 says that a deputy speaker or any other member presiding shall not retain his original vote whilst presiding. You see, casting vote is missing. You see, casting vote is missing. But what that means is that a deputy speaker of parliament is first and foremost a member of parliament, representing good people of Bekwai and Fomina. You cannot take that representative position away from a member of parliament. So whilst he loses his original vote,
the deputy speaker himself, not too long ago, made it clear on the floor of Parliament that he knows that he wouldn't be voting, but he believes that he's included in the quorum.
That's what I'm saying, that the original vote is different from casting vote.
Can I
There's a clear distinction between both of them. That when you sit as a speaker of parliament,
at the end of the day,
you don't have an original vote.
And at the end of the day, the question that I'm asking is, or the point, or the reason I say that the point that Nelson made is fair, is, and the analogy has been made, that you have presided over a judgment.
Yes.
In the original, the ayes have the voice vote. The speaker didn't, the first deputy speaker who was presiding didn't vote.
No, it's the speaker. Once you are sitting in that chair, you are
He
the
didn't
speaker.
vote.
Please.
So if he didn't vote,
109 is very clear that
if he didn't vote,
a deputy speaker.
No, I'm just
There's clear
asking this.
distinction between
I'm
both.
asking this.
Right.
If he didn't vote, because there's also the spirit of the letter or the spirit of the law. So if he didn't vote, and the ruling is being challenged, and so you want to put it to a head count, why would he want to be counted?
Because he's not voting at the time he's presiding. When you check the 109,
I'm talking about, and here I'm talking about the spirit.
So hold on.
Hold on. It's not even about
Hold on,
spirit.
senior, hold on.
You've
hold on. Let me finish.
You've read
hold
it.
on. At the time he did
How
not
many
vote.
times do you want to make
hold on.
this point?
He did not vote because he was sitting and presiding as a speaker. When he leaves the chair to go and sit on the seat as a Bekwai MP, you cannot deny him of his vote.
Okay. But can I address that?
Because at the time, he is not presiding.
No, you've made this
because the
point.
law was very clear that when you are presiding.
Okay. The law is very clear. Now, he's making a zero-sum argument. The law he quoted is his Waterloo, is his undoing. Why? Because in this process, there's nothing like an original or a casting vote at all. Votes have been taken. And when it is challenged, it is about the numbers. Because a voice vote, you are unable to determine.
Trying to verify the numbers.
In a voice vote, it is naturally impossible to determine numbers. That is why the law says that if you have doubt, call for the determination as to numbers. Now, when you do that, and when proceedings of parliament is defined by a scheme, once you are presiding over proceedings, you cannot participate in the vote taking as the presiding speaker.
Is this one of the things that probably should go to the Supreme Court for us to get some determination?
You know, Supreme Court has no jurisdiction in this matter. It is only Parliament itself. And indeed, we have new standing orders. As to why we are not even adopting that, it's a mystery to me. Because as a member of the Standing Orders Committee, we've done our work. Done everything. And the document is a perfect document, at least for purposes of our work. But somehow, he still wants us to rely on this one, the old one.
See.
And Israel, here's the thing. So where my brother says that a presiding speaker doesn't have an original vote but has a casting vote, we are not speaking, the matters in question are not germane to his point. It is not about the fact that the numbers are equal, and so the speaker decides to cast, to vote as to tilt it. Right. No, that's not the scenario being played out.
A verification.
The scenario being played out is that votes have been taken, voice vote. Now we want a determination as to numbers. And so his attempt to leave the seat is to add to the numbers of the majority.
Yeah.
Now, his explanation in the studio here is contrary to the official explanation put out the majority leader, who said that the man was going to take his medication.
Yeah. I'm sure you heard that. Yes.
So, so there are issues.
So how do you reconcile the two? Because in one
you see, there are issues.
I am saying that.
Clearly.
I am saying that the first deputy speaker of parliament at every point in time.
So,
and I've already indicated.
So the majority,
even Alban Babin, at every point in time, even when sometimes members of parliament we are on our feet debating, he seizes the debate and tells you that, hey, I have to leave the chamber.
Again, that suggestion is moot because the man had already put the house on notice that I shall participate in the vote. That's all he said.
So I'm saying
that is what put the minority on alert.
So the question
to prevent that from happening.
Answering the question which I asked him.
He's already answered.
No, which
is not going to vote while sitting as a speaker of parliament.
But the man announced that to the house.
Because he's not going to do so while sitting.
But he announced that to the house.
He had announced.
Are you saying that we should deny the first deputy speaker of parliament his right to vote?
To go and get head counted.
Because
that
at the time,
that is fraud.
That is not fraud.
That is fraud.
That's not fraud.
That is fraud.
That is why we have a second deputy speaker.
That is fraud.
That is not fraud.
That is fraud.
Nelson, please hold.
That is fraud.
How is that fraud? That cannot be fraud
because
we cannot deny the people of Bekwai
fraud
by virtue of the fact that
fraud because
he's a member of parliament first and foremost.
Hold on. Fraud because the scenario is this: 10 persons were sitting.
If you will let me,
Israel. No, hold on. 10 persons were sitting. Voice votes have been taken. It has been established or it's been decided that 6 persons who said nay had it, and 4 persons who said yes didn't have it. Now, we want to determine whether or not truly the 6 persons who said yes.
There were 6 people and there were 4 people.
There were 4 people. And then the person who called for that determination to be made says that now I have to go and get head counted. So is that how we do things?
So okay. So Roxy, it's okay. You
as part of either the group that said yes or the group that said
Roxy,
no.
Because you're a member of parliament.
How is that possible?
Qualification as a deputy speaker.
That is fraud.
Because he's a member of parliament.
That is fraud.
The question I'm asking.
That is clear fraud. The minority.
The majority leader says that he got off from the seat because of health reasons.
Yes.
But you are then saying you're actually justifying his vote. So which?
Or his intention to go and vote.
Remember,
which the minority
he had
resisted.
already indicated that when the time is ripe,
he would want his vote to be counted.
Absolutely. So I'm saying that even when the time was not right for him, he had to go and ask it to attend to his medication.
After the voice vote had been taken and challenged.
Hold on.
You recall that they suspended the house?
Yeah, my brother.
No, you recall that as soon as we asked for the division, you suspended the house.
So you won't let me talk.
For almost 30 minutes. You will talk. You have spoken.
We said so much.
Yes.
But the question I'm asking is, how are we moving forward?
Israel, we are
how
moving.
Is Parliament moving?
Israel, we are moving forward.
See,
we
just
I've
already indicated to you that
to avert recurrence?
Myself and my brother, we have every responsibility under the sun to protect the integrity of Parliament.
Yes.
I don't need a soothsayer to come and tell me that the integrity of Parliament is in shatters and in batters. In fact, as I sit here, I am ashamed as a member of Parliament. Why? Because both of us have contributed in putting the integrity and image of Parliament to a point whereby we allow Ghanaians, the people who give us the mandate, to insult us the way they are doing. That's why I've already told you. In Twi, we cannot. Udika. Omudika. We have every responsibility to redeem it.
So
and our actions and inactions going forward. Going forward, we need to make sure that we redeem. What we are going to do, and what I suggest that we do, is that there need to be utmost consensus building. Utmost consensus building. Because if that does not happen, from what I'm seeing, whether from the majority side or the minority side, I won't budge. I won't budge. I won't understand. Unless what I think should be done is the only way. That means that there has been negotiation. When you are going on any negotiation and you take that stance of a hard negotiator, definitely you may not be able to reach the kind of results that you want to get. And so I will implore all members of parliament, especially the leadership, both sides, and most especially the one that the buck stops with, who is the Speaker of Parliament. You should be able to rise to the occasion.
You've said some,
you've said
some very, very harsh things about the Speaker of Parliament.
Well, I don't remember saying anything harsh. That time that we came here, all that I said was...
it's been captured in the news. It's been captured in the newspapers. I could actually bring you...
When I say the Speaker of Parliament should show leadership, I've already told you that the buck will have to stop with him. The buck stops with him because he is the Speaker of Parliament. He should be able to show that leadership to regain the integrity of Parliament. See, if I am told that the Speaker of Parliament cannot come to the chamber to come and sit, whilst after proceedings, I see his motorcade and his cars and everything parked there, showing that he's in the office, why wasn't he in the chamber to come and preside?
The Speaker of Parliament? Absolutely.
Yesterday. Not somebody tell me. I saw the Speaker of Parliament, his car, motorcade and everything parked there. But he was not in the chamber. So I ask, when the Speaker of Parliament knew that there was going to be such a vote, that you knew that your first Deputy Speaker and second Deputy Speakers are members of Parliament first and foremost, that you were supposed to preside. When there's any bystander, any neutral, any onlooker, he would think that there is a certain mentality or something that...
As far as that is concerned, which is something that I said this morning, we've heard the first Deputy Speaker say that the majority, the Speaker, Aban Bagbin, told him to preside.
Absolutely.
So there was all this that's been said that the Speaker was nowhere to be found and all of that.
No, but I'm saying that when you know there's going to be a vote and you know your first Deputy Speaker is a member of Parliament...
Why was the majority then saying that the Speaker was nowhere to be found?
Of course, because the majority leader has already said... Oh, let me finish. Hold on.
Has spoken
hold on. Let me finish. Hold on.
By way
the Speaker of Parliament...
The
Speaker of Parliament has... the first Deputy Majority Leader has already indicated that there were a number of calls that he sent to Bagbin, which were unreturned, were never picked.
That's beside the point. The point I'm making is the first Deputy Speaker said that the Speaker had spoken with him.
Yes.
But the majority gave the impression that the Speaker, Aban Bagbin, had gone AWOL.
I'm saying that. Why would the Speaker of Parliament allow his first Deputy Speaker to go and take the seat when you know that there's going to be a vote? Because we had already taken out the E-levy from the main appropriation and we have singled it out. What that means is that we all knew that there was going to be a vote. The intent is what I'm questioning. I am questioning the intent.
Go ahead.
Israel, thank you very much. You've been asking Vincent, how do we make progress? He's been throwing in all sorts of missiles. Look, he speaks of consensus building. Israel, if we build consensus and you have no regard to the rules of the house, it will break down. You don't build consensus and disregard the rules of how to apply the consensus. So the first thing the majority must learn is to respect the rules of the house. Whatever the procedure it is in law, let us follow it to the letter. Then there will be sanity. That's one.
Your understanding is the law.
No, that's one.
When you put interpretation of it,
please, let me finish. 2, it is never correct that the Speaker was in the presence of Parliament 3 days ago.
No, I said yesterday.
No, but yesterday, nothing happened. Yesterday, we just went to adjourn.
Did we know we were going to adjourn the day before?
Yes.
We didn't know.
Oh, my brother.
No, we adjourned for proceedings to continue yesterday.
Please. We had a caucus meeting. We were informed that we were going to adjourn Senate Day for cooler heads to prevail so that when we come back, this will be taken.
All right.
You understand? And in any case, who says that any presiding speaker can preside over proceedings for decisions to be made? You saw it fit to use Joe Osaiwusu to take a vote on rescission. Why didn't you say that you wanted to wait for the speaker to return? Why is it a crime for the speaker to suddenly leave his seat for some reasons? So that argument is a zero-sum argument. It falls flat.
All right.
So, and third, Israel. Like you said, and in consonance with what other men in academia have said, the majorities must learn to respect the minority. It's very, very important. And it is unethical for the majority leader to publicly say that he placed a call to the speaker and the speaker is not returning his phone call. It's most unethical.
Vincent has to go. So let me just put this to you, Vincent, quickly. I was telling you that you've been captured in the newspaper, in the Daily Dispatch, where you've used some very harsh words on the speaker. I'm just asking.
What did I say there?
Okay.
What is it saying?
So here, it says that Abam Bagbing, they're quoting you, it's a devil mayhem.
No, maker. You see, when you misquote somebody, when you say somebody is a devil maker, it's not devil mayhem. What is even?
So it says devil mayhem.
No.
He has disappointed Ghanaians.
Hold
if
on.
you allow me, I will use more adjectives on him. He relinquished his duties and he must be blamed. I'm disappointed in him. We, the young ones, before we came to the house, somehow looked after him to be a better legislature. I'm disappointed.
I used this devil maker when I was here with my brother.
And I asked him to apologize.
I mean,
to retract.
But when you
apologize.
say somebody is a devil maker, I don't think that is insulting.
It
is not.
No, any attempt to liken all this to a devil.
All right.
No, it is just an idiomatic expression.
Yes, but it's totally unacceptable to do
just an
that.
idiomatic
because
expression.
You see,
I mean, he's
you
like a father. I cannot insult him.
You see,
in fact, if he feels
you are not
insulted,
even using a simile.
I apologize.
We are not using a simile. You use the expression in a very metaphorical way.
Absolutely. He was about to
and it is more damning to use a metaphor than a simile.
Can we hear his apology?
Oh, but when you say someone is a devil maker, for me, it's not insulting.
That's metaphorical.
It's not insulting.
No, it is.
It's not insulting. But of course, I mean, this is a big platform.
And honestly,
if my own very good father,
conditional if
Backbend.
Conditional if.
But you are supposed
go
to be
straight
my
to
friend.
the point. I'm your friend.
Allow him.
Say you apologize.
Of course, I mean, if
don't say if.
words are harsh, of course, I mean, I apologize. But in my estimation, I didn't think that it was going to be something insulting. No, that was not the intent.
All right.
That was
I think it's a good point.
Yes, and I thank him for the apology. It's good because you see we are young, and we have a long way to go in national politics. So some of these things, they are not necessary. So I'm very happy that he's done
All right.
that.
We're looking forward to the two sides working a lot better in 2022.
Israel, we have always been ready to work better, to work in a very cooperative manner.
And for the majority to also appreciate that you don't really have significant
let me say this. Somebody hinted me and I went back to the video. The president actually singled out the majority MPs and thanked them for passing appropriation. And I found it very, 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 very unacceptable. That appropriation was passed by all 275 of us. But the president said he expresses gratitude to the majority members for passing appropriation. I think the president could do better. And again, the majority leader, who is a father figure for me, it's unacceptable for him to keep saying publicly that he is placing calls to the Speaker of Parliament and is not returning same. That's not the kind of relationship the two of them have. They've been together as friends for 30 years. I think he can do better than that. If you place a call to Speaker and you couldn't reach him, his office is just 10 meters away from yours.
But was he in the office?
So why would it be necessary? You have
anyway,
you have a 24-hour access to the Speaker.
I mean, I'm saying this because I think it became pretty clear that even though the majority was indicating that the Speaker was nowhere to be found, he had actually communicated to the First Deputy Speaker.
Yes.
So clearly.
And that's the so why should this be a public matter that you place a call and you couldn't reach the Speaker?
Yeah.
It's unethical for me. It's too pedestrian.
All right.
It's too pedestrian issue to belabor.
Thank you very much, Roxanne Nelson Dafiame for South Dai, for joining us for this conversation and for being part of the AM show for the whole year. This will be the last time this year we're going to be speaking with you. And I also want to say thank you to Vincent Eko, who has had to leave. He's going on, he has another engagement, and we do appreciate all of them. So, as I keep saying, we're hoping that Parliament will continue to work. They will work in a more cordial manner, the two sides, and I appreciate some of you would have to also soften your stance so that you're all in the interest of Ghana.
Yes.
Right?
If I can say a quick message to my people.
Please do.
Chienu to Sanga, to Wawasi Camp, to Fegbe, to Beve, Chopu Kofe, to Mamiwata Kofe, to Bloko Kofe, to Soji Kofe, to Todome. Ajokwe New Town, Old Town, Agbate, Udome. Avetile, Jogbati, Blango, Chame, Jake, Anyensu, To Dugan, Chanakpe, Jemeni, Agodake, Atokulokpo, Fanti Kofe, Ajebwi, Jakiti, Bongboni Kofe, Ausa Kofe, Chita, Abui, Ahon, Kaira, New Kaira, Chate, Baibome, Akpato.
All of them.
Todome. Medo blonya ojo venye miene mi efe ye nemi lo. Na ma odila ma dogo mi fira gba mi adu blonya. Akpene mi kakaka.
Yeah. So essentially saying that a Merry Christmas to all his constituents, and he mentioned all the communities there. Thank you very much.
It's my pleasure.
Nelson.